Hello everyone, welcome to the Mr. Oh, let's fix that. Hello everyone, welcome to the MrBenShow. Welcome to another reaction video. Xbox has their Gamescom event. Gamescom is back around for the year. It's August, so makes sense. Except it's also digital this year like it was last year, so who knows. The last few Gamescom events have underwhelmed me. E3 always has the big announcements, but now with everybody doing their fucking streams like every 3 months, it's like, what do you have to offer here? What could you possibly have to offer that was different from, when was the Xbox event? 2-3 weeks ago? A month ago? We'll see. Yeah, we'll just click play on it, because now it's later. So I don't have to watch this live. So I know it's going to be an hour and 22 minutes. I guess we'll see. Flight Simulator off the bat. Notre Dame? Is that what that is? No. I don't think I've ever seen Notre Dame other than the pictures of it burning. It's fucked up. I'd imagine that's
Hello everyone, and welcome to our Gamescom 2021 Xbox stream.
We've got so many great game updates to share with you today. We're talking Age of Empires 4, Psychonauts 2, and my personal favorite, Microsoft Flight Simulator.
So I think they shot this one in LA. So
Forza Horizon 5. There's so much going into this.
This should all be in LA.
Games' vision of Mexico is muy bonito.
And we'll be getting our first look at the cover car for the game, Paris. I got $5 on it being one of those electric scooters that you see piled up on the sidewalk.
Will Kate win $5? I guess we're about to find out.
Yes, indeed. Our Xbox Plays team will also chat with devs and deep dive into current and upcoming games all week on twitch.tv.
Okay, all week. I was like, you guys are giving me a schedule, please no.
Techland and their upcoming zombie parkour sequel, Dying Light 2: Stay Human.
Okay. Dying Light 2. Cool. I gotta go pull something out of the oven in like 10 minutes.
I am Demon Dying Light 2 lead game designer, and this is David Lubryka, animation director. Hi. We can't wait until December 7th to finally give you Dying Light 2 Stay Human, the game we have been working on really hard for the last few years.
We're hoping the gameplay video you're about to watch will give you a foretaste.
It's supposed to come out at the beginning of the year, right? Or was it September? Or maybe it was both.
We are just about to enter the city, fighting our way through its brutal and dangerous streets.
A couple of times,
Though,
right?
as you will see in a moment, there are plenty of things you can use to your advantage. So watch closely, look for special combat and parkour moves,
okay, show
and
me
check
the game.
out how with just a bit of creativity you can combine the two. Ready? Let's go.
Thank you.
Sometimes I wonder what this city looked like before all this. Probably like many others. People had their ambitions, plans, lives. Now it's all gone. The virus started it, but it was the people who made the world the way it is. This city, Villador. They tell me they had a vision. They had hope. But soon, one vision broke into many different ones. Instead of fighting together, people stood against each other.
Big boy right there.
War broke out.
Was it a little
The
bird?
colors are nice.
Met a broken leg.
Hope died.
Yeah, I love all the green. Love it. Love it, love it, love it.
Now the city is falling.
Each time we strike down an enemy, we absorb their strength.
The first Dying Light was a good game. There definitely could have been some improvements, which I hope they improve on. Like, I don't know, make that movement a little bit more fluid, which it looks like it is. Make the combat a little better, like melee combat, especially. Tweak up some shooting.
You're doing great so far.
And I mean, I assume they hired the writers for such a big story, because the story is supposed to be fucking huge and go weird directions that all depend on what you do. You can completely miss a part of the game. No, don't do it, don't do it.
They say that great change is
We're gonna
a
come
series
in,
of small
superhero
gestures.
land. Fuck them up. Those are different dudes.
How about this series?
Just different dudes. Never mind. I don't like that. It's that pausing stuff that, yeah, I hate that. I don't need to pause when I do a parry. Them pausing is one thing,
that was an
but
exciting trip, wasn't it, Timo?
I don't know, when
Did you
he
notice
did
those
the knuckle
bandits
thing,
in
it like
medieval-like
froze for a
armor
second.
passing by skyscrapers, vans, and large
That was one of the
billboards?
things I said about
That's
Black
what we
Myth
call
Wukong, except that
modern
was
Dark
before
Ages.
it would be like,
And it's a
do a
very
fast-paced
unique
move and
design,
freeze for a
one
frame to
very
like lock you in
important for the
place and
plot
do
of
it.
Dying Light 2.
It's just a
But there's
weird,
another thing that stood
small
out to me.
nitpick,
All
but
those
I don't like.
parkour moves that you and
But I'm
your
sure
team
it'll
has
feel better
put so
in the
much
gameplay.
effort
Maybe
into.
it could just be edited.
Well, all you need is a few thousand of animations, cooperation with professional tracers,
But I
mocap sessions,
love
and invaluable
fluid
help from
like,
David
combat.
Bell, whose face and moves player will see in the game.
So I'll take that over anything.
No, yes, right. And we've got twice the number of parkour moves compared to the first
Super
game.
jarring
And we are
if
showing
you
some
leave
of them
like a
in
frame
this
out.
trailer. The vault kicks being the most important to me personally. It brings a whole new fighting style into the game. The player can stagger an enemy and use them to perform further attacks, for example by rebounding from their bodies, jumping off them onto other foes, and so on.
The staggering the enemy's
captured the
cool,
movement really
but it
well
totally
and
looks
made it
like
simple for the players to perform.
I
can't
could
wait
replay
for
it
them
back,
to try
but it
out
looks
and
like
tell for
I'm getting
themselves how
staggered
much
as
they
well
love
for a second.
It's
Like even if it is a
definitely
couple
going to be
milliseconds.
useful. The city's buildings are higher than
But,
anything we have
I don't
done
know.
before,
I'm really excited for this
improving
game.
its verticality.
I'm always down
Players
for
will need
horror,
to
and it
find
looks
a
super
way to
pretty.
reach those tall skyscrapers and other challenging spots
And
too.
it's been a long
Then
time.
it's good we scattered
Long
some
time
helpers
coming.
around,
Was
like
it
a
2014 when the
paraglider, which
first one
can
came
support
out?
players in both parkouring and combat.
Exactly, and it's gonna do great,
Even before that.
especially in fights against humans, which are more frequent and important than in Dying Light 1. It's been over 20 years since the events from the first game, so
Okay.
people adjusted.
From
They
the
are
first one?
much
No
bolder
way.
now, at least during the day.
And they are more vicious too.
And I think that's a great summary of this discussion. Pre-order Dying Light 2 and explore its vast, complex world on December 7th. Thanks, David.
Thank you.
For the first time in the storied history of the franchise, Microsoft Flight Simulator
Paris, that
launched on a
jacket
home
is so
console
nice.
with a release on Xbox Series X and S
Xbox
last
hooking 'em
month.
up with that
Reviewers
jacket.
and gamers
That
alike
jacket's
were
sick.
blown away by how well the stunning visuals and the depth of the simulation translated to the console, and that's why I'm extremely honored to welcome the head of Microsoft Flight Simulator, York Newman, to the stream. York, thank you for being here. The last time we met was at the
I love
Xbox
the
Game
like
Showcase,
the color
and it was getting ready to come out on
Flight
console.
Simulator,
How
all
did
the
that
blue
go?
skies.
It
and
went
stuff.
great. As you said, the reaction to the Xbox console launch was really just amazing. Both from Xbox gamers and from the press, they've been so gracious with their feedback. I don't know if you know, but Flight Simulator is one of the highest rated games on Xbox this year, which I think is just great validation
Makes sense.
that the translation of the
Makes sense.
simulation to the console has really worked well.
They've been updating
Our
the
usage numbers are
fuck
through the
out of
roof.
it.
We are absolutely shattering franchise records, and I can tell you, there have never been more people playing Flight Simulator than right now. So it's an awesome time.
That is awesome. Congratulations on the launch, really. But
All right.
I want to go to the danger zone. So what's going on with Top Gun?
There's so much going on, Paris. So you and I talked about Top Gun Maverick
Gun.
earlier.
Just show me Top
the
Gun,
fans are super
please.
excited. They saw the
Show
F-18.
me
They
it.
can't wait to start flying. And as you know, it
Don't
comes
need
out
to
later this
talk,
year
you
as free
just have to show
DLC
the
alongside the
game.
movie. But as the movie is still under wraps, so are we. So I can still not tell you that much about it. But there's so much else going on even before Maverick. So we are continuing to do our monthly
bet
big
the-
releases that we've
the
been
Flight
doing for a long
Simulator
time.
DLC is
and
better
next
than the
month,
movie.
on September 7th, we are
Like
launching
100%.
World Update 6. And this World Update, I mean, at the beginning of the show, if you remember, there was a little red plane
Yeah,
flying into
yeah.
Cologne. Well, we did that because World Update 6 updates that region, the region of Gamescom.
It was
so Germany,
okay.
Austria, and
but it wasn't
Switzerland.
Neutron.
And what that means to us is we have new
Neutron has
aerial
a
and satellite
giant
images. We have a new
bulb.
elevation map that helps us with the mountains, so the Alps actually look awesome now. We have new 3D cities like Frankfurt and Wuppertal in Germany. We have Basel in Switzerland. We have Vienna and Graz in Austria. And those cities look just amazing. They have like 7 centimeters resolution, and it's awesome. But we want to celebrate the entire region, so we picked 100 of the most scenic places, the most famous landmarks, and we call those POIs. And we sort of spread them throughout the simulation. And we also added airports. We did Lübeck and Stuttgart in Germany, and Klagenfurt in Austria, and St. Gallen in Switzerland.
Just sneeze real quick.
And what it ties it all together is missions. We're having new discovery flights, we have new landing challenges, and we have new sort of tours of the country. So they fly you around all the awesome looking places and really celebrate the beauty of this region of Earth. And this is a celebration of DACH, of Germany, Austria, and Switzerland. I'm so happy to be able to announce the date here at Gamescom.
You know, that is really incredible, all the different regions and everything that you're going to have in the game, and the way that you're going to be able to actually highlight those.
Yeah, I think it's really cool. But you know, for us, it's actually not just the region and the visuals. We talked a lot when you study aviation, when you love aviation like we do. You actually realize that a lot of regions of Earth have a very special relationship with flying, with aviation. Sometimes it's, you know, the first experiments with aircraft, or a famous pilot, or a feat of aviation, or like a local manufacturer. So we thought to ourselves, why do we not use these world updates to celebrate the planes? So we are announcing a new series. We call them Local Legends. And think about that as planes that are locally well known, like in that region, but outside in the world, not so much.
Yeah.
But why not use the world updates to highlight this, to bring these awesome machines to a worldwide audience? So for World Update 6, we picked a German plane from the 1930s. It's called Junkers U-52. In Germany, it's lovingly named Tante U, so Aunt U. And we think of us as sort of a digital preservation. So we really want to get these planes to an extreme level of detail. We're going out of our way to really go deep. So we're doing a full scan. We take full scans of the outside and the inside, as detailed as 1 millimeter, which is as good as you can really do this. And then we're working with, for the Junkers, we work with Bernd Junkers, who is the grandson of the original creator of the plane, Hugo Junkers. And he's helping us. He had a ton of insight and materials. Then we work with an organization that is preserving one of the last surviving examples of the Junkers. So they let us scan and take photographs, and then we were lucky that to find a pilot that actually flew one of those planes while it was still flying in the real world. And he lets us know, like, is the cockpit right and the sounds right? Does it feel right in the air? So we're having a blast working with these experts to really to celebrate this plane, to bring them back to life.
So this is almost like you're creating like a digital museum for aviation inside Microsoft Flight Simulator.
Yeah, I mean, it's basically that. Yeah. It's a museum with flyable planes. Yeah. So we're working with 40 museums around the world. And it's honestly one of the funnest parts of the job. You end up working with these curators of planes. These are their babies. And they sort of see the tooth of time in the real world sort of nagging on their remaining planes. And they're so happy when we come in with our scanning equipment, and we're basically capturing their planes, and they know that we can digitally preserve them in perpetuity. And we're actually giving those scans back to the museum so they can do something with it. And it's a great collaboration. And we're actually not just looking back in the history of aviation, we're also looking towards the future. So I have another announcement. We are working with a fascinating German company called Volocopter. Yeah. And they're making an eVTOL air taxi for urban traffic. So they have a vision of the future, how these drone-type machines basically connect people in large cities. We're working directly with the engineering team to make sure that we are capturing their plane and their aircraft perfectly in the flight simulator.
No, it's not.
That's coming out in
there's a
November.
cockpit and everything.
I mean, you weren't kidding when you're saying that there's a lot going on inside of Microsoft Flight Simulator. Is there anything else you want to share?
Yeah, there's one more thing.
Yeah.
We are. I'm so happy to announce that we've partnered with RARA. That's the Reno Air Racing Association. And every year they put on something called the Steel National Championship Air Race. And we're bringing this to Flight Simulator. So this is the fastest motorsport. This is right down your alley. It's the fastest motorsport on Earth. And I actually brought you a little trailer to look at.
So race, speed. We go into the danger zone, baby. Let's go ahead and show that.
It's a lot of talking. We could have cut 5 minutes there. At least. That was the trailer. Dope. What the fuck?
You know I like going fast, and you know I love being in the danger zone. When is this coming out?
Man, these planes, they fly 500 miles, faster than 500 miles an hour, 50 to 250 feet above the ground. So you are definitely going to be in the danger zone. I mean, without going into too much detail,
thank you.
this Reno
Lower
Air Race
third
is
for
actually
that.
the largest expansion we have since we've launched.
When is it
Flight
coming out?
Simulator.
You
It's
know,
not
these
just because
planes
we scan
fly
all the
very
famous
fast.
race planes of the world. There's lots of them.
Okay.
This is also the first time when you can basically race against your friends and pilots across the planet. And so a competitive multiplayer is coming to Microsoft Flight Simulator, and that will definitely test your pilot skills. And you ask, when is it coming out? This is coming out this fall, so it's right around the corner.
Oh, that is fantastic. And you know I have the need for speed, so I can't wait to get my hands on this and participate in some of these air races.
Awesome, man. We got you covered.
Oh, it's Evan time. Perfect.
If going fast on the ground
just,
is more your speed, keep an eye out for an
Forza.
extended look at Forza
Yeah, give me 1 second. Hold on. Okay.
Horizon 5 later
Got
on
the
in the
oven.
stream. We'll also talk with Wasteland 3's game director about the game's next big DLC. But first, if you're an Xbox
Not a
Game Pass
DLC.
subscriber, we have some great news for you.
Humble Games. On launching day 1. Okay, Dodgeball Academy. Yeah, that's just me.
Build a weapon,
Arch
one that blows the world away.
It's like Enter the
Build a rocket
Gungeon.
that'll come and take
Next
away
spaceships.
us all. Gonna
Does that have
come
FMV in
back,
it?
I am coming back.
Midnight Flight Express. This is sick. Hell yeah, give me a beat 'em up.
Turn us into new
Dodgeball Academy is pretty cool.
borns
Or
again.
Academia.
Build a weapon,
Who's shooting?
one that blows the world away. Build a rocket that'll come and take away
Sun Crimson. Cool.
Gonna come back
Unpacking. Hell yeah, this game's sick.
in a day. Build a weapon that'll turn us into new borns
Ooh.
again.
Ooh. Yes, please. Look at that. And all these are out now. Chinatown Detective Pictures. I like this song. I mean, a dope horror game. Unpacking is just a good time. Dodgeball Academia is fun too. Chinatown Detective Pictures. See, that looks super cool. I think that's like the sleeper out of all
somehow
those.
they did
That'll
it.
be,
They added
that'd be
even more
cool.
games to Game Pass.
Not the
Let's talk about
sleeper,
what's
but
coming up. We're talking
probably
Age
the
of
one
Empires
most
4,
slept
the
on.
game's creative director, and we're
Age
going
of
to see
Empires
what's
4?
next for Sea of Thieves.
That's not
But
Xbox.
now we've got a
It's
new
PC.
roguelike retro shooter that, in grand retro fashion, sends you plundering through shifting dungeons to defeat a mysterious eldritch terror. Let's dive into the pit.
Into the pit. Okay. Woo! That's probably a Doom clone, isn't it? Looks like a Doom. Yep. But you got weird demon powers. Cool. Oh fun time. Give me like a good 6 hours of this. You're sick. Ooh, boss fight. Hit Guardian Vanquish. Okay, that was another Humble Bundle game. Cool. Your Humble game. It's Humble Bundle when they do their sales.
Well, I am here with creative director of World's Edge, Adam Eisgren. And Adam, I'm so excited to talk H4, of course, because you've brought something a little different and very special today.
Yeah, I have. So, so far we've been showing everyone kind of what Age looks like from in the game, when you're playing it. You've gotten to see a lot of footage of that. And we've also shown a little bit of our campaigns, right, through when we unveiled the 100 Years' War and showed Joan of Arc. But we have yet another way in Age of Empires 4 that we're kind of bringing history to life that we haven't talked about yet.
See, you do this to me. You put me in suspense. I want to know more, so let's go with it.
Well,
let's hear more.
Okay, wait, you get 1 moment of suspense. Okay, that's enough. So what we brought today is we have these wonderful little videos that we've created that are interspersed amongst the campaign, and they're about 3 to 5 minutes each. And we have over an hour of them total, and they're called Hands-on Histories. And what they are is a great way to like deep dive on certain fun subjects from the cultures we're representing and just from medieval history.
Excellent. Well, I hear you've actually brought one of those segments that you're going to share here for the very first time.
Yes, I have. We are going to show you the segment on one of the most popular units from Age of Empires franchise and a fan favorite, the Trebuchet.
Excellent. Well, this I got to see. Let's take a look.
A counterweight trebuchet.
Show me gameplay.
Was the king of all siege engines. A catapult capable of smashing down castle walls from great distances. At Warwick Castle in England, they've built a replica, one of the largest in the world.
So this is how they're all going to be. I mean, this is cool that they're doing this
in 7th century China,
for the game.
By the 13th century, trebuchets had evolved into devastatingly powerful weapons.
Such a simple design, but so effective.
It has several key features. A pivoted arm with a weight at one end, and a sling to hold the projectile at the other. To prime, the 6-ton weight is raised using tread wheels.
So this is one of the wheels, one of 2 that's attached to an axle, which would lift the counterweight, weighing 6 tons. It's based on muscle power alone. What's essential about launching a projectile as far as possible is making sure that this end of the arm is moving as fast as possible. So once that weight drops, it really sends this point of the arm moving at its highest velocity.
This was done by positioning the pivot close to the counterweight and by launching the projectile from a sling. When released,
We're gonna watch a whole
the sling whips round,
5
vastly
minute one of
increasing
these.
the launch speed. Trebuchets were
I
carefully
want to see the
aimed,
game. You
like
don't have to
modern
give me a
guns.
whole deep dive.
In order to weaken
Save
the
this
castle
for the
walls
game
or
when
even
I'm into
breach
it.
them, you had to make sure that the projectiles hit the same spot every single time.
For each projectile to follow the same trajectory, they all had to be the same weight and shape. To achieve this, masons used a gauge.
Now I'm going to load this projectile into the sling. Oh, this one must weigh about 25 kilograms, but some projectiles can get up to 150 kilograms. That's the weight of 2 men.
Trebuchets were also used to throw burning tar, beehives, even dead bodies. Anything to cause maximum distress to the enemy.
Or dead animals. They didn't mention that part.
Did you hear that whoosh?
Dead cattle.
It was the counterweight trebuchet's lethal combination of power
Can you
and
imagine getting a
accuracy
fucking cow thrown at you out of one of
that
those?
made it the ultimate medieval siege weapon.
Fuck someone's day up. Thanks for the gameplay, but that was cool.
You know I'm going to say trebuchet. Don't care, because that is awesome and remarkably unique, something you don't see in games very often.
Yeah, so You know, one of the things when we were looking at what we were going to do with Age of Empires 4, there's a phrase I'm really fond of, which is history is only as interesting as the people who taught it to you. And you could say that about any subject, really, right? But I think the great thing is when you have someone that's so enthusiastic and passionate about history, it really comes across. And we wanted to be that kind of teacher for history. And there's a phrase called humanized history that I use to kind of describe what we tried to do, which is we tried to like connect past and present. And you can see that kind of in our briefings as well, where we've got like real stuff with like CG kind of overlaid to show you the history. And so for these, we really wanted to do that same thing. So ourselves and Relic partnered with this amazing group in the UK called Lion TV, and they've done production on an amazing amount of shows and documentaries for the BBC and won every award you can imagine for media. And they travel to all of these locations in all these different countries to meet with these subject matter experts and get all of this great footage on how things really worked and how things were made. And it's been delightful to kind of go through that process and get all these and finally start showing them to everyone.
I love it. Now, you also, of course, you've got a bunch, as you mentioned, of these hands-on history segments. Anything else that you can tell us fans about what we can expect, looking forward to? Any favorites you got coming up?
Oh, well, favorites. Oh, man. Well, I think my personal favorite
has to
is
say,
one called
but
Medieval
this is a
Surgery.
lot of talking.
And, I'm going to let your imagination go with what we might show and what we might talk about in that one.
Yeah.
But the thing I love about them is that they go all over the place. So, we've got ones on warfare and castle building and like how they kept flaming arrows from not going out when you shot them. And but we've also got all of these ones on, like illuminated history and
do like
hawk
this stuff.
falconing and, like horse taming, armor creation. And there's even one on Mongolian instrumentation, which is really cool because those instruments, we actually use them in the soundtrack for the Mongols when you're playing as them in the campaign, in the game.
I mean, I just love the behemoth amount of history that you guys. Age of Empires always known for bringing history alive in a completely different way.
Date,
and I
right?
also love
like
to mention this to people that you and the team do so much research.
28th?
It's so great to see this approach being used
24th?
in a hands-on history kind of segment. But
That's
I mean,
true.
what was that approach like to sort of sell going forward, especially since it's such a unique in-game experience?
Well, the cool thing was it was there from day one. It was one of the things I was really wanted to do is try to tell these stories in a different way. But I'll tell you, like full disclosure, it's been insanely nerve-wracking because we're trying something completely different that no one's ever done before in a game, right? We're history, but we're a game, but we're teaching you things, but you're having fun. And finding that middle ground has been really challenging. And every time we've tried to we've shown the campaigns or we've shown these hands-on histories, I've been like, oh God, it's gonna work? Like, people gonna like this? And the great thing is so far, everyone that's really experienced the entire thing put together have just been like, wow, this is great. And it's so different and kind of cool and refreshing. So, so far so good, right? But yeah, it's been a journey, to get all this done and put the whole game together.
Well, I love that you mentioned journey because we are coming towards the end of this development journey for Age 4. Talk to me about where people can find and learn more about Age of Empires 4. I know they're all chomping at the bit.
Oh, well, October 28th, we are launching the game. You can go to ageofempires.com to learn more about the title. And if you're really, really excited, right now you can go onto the Microsoft Store or Steam, pre-order the game right now. And of course, it will be there day one, Xbox Game Pass for PC as well. So anyone that's on that can just grab the game and start playing. But
yes, I believe you are a part of something very special.
Yes, so Gamescom opening night live.
Yes.
11 a.m. Pacific time. There might be something Age of Empires related in there, so if you're a fan, you probably should tune in.
Oh, a bit of a tease from Mr. Ice Green.
Maybe.
And I like it very much. Adam, thank you so much for joining us
We will
here.
also be doing the opening
Always
night
a pleasure.
live
Age of Empires 4
and the
looks
pre-show.
fantastic, so I cannot wait. October 28th, neither should you. Now, we have tons coming up here today, including a new update for State of Decay 2 and an extended look at Forza Horizon 5 with our friends at Playground Games. But now, let's catch up with Paris, who's gone from flying the skies in Microsoft Flight Sim to a different kind of cloud.
That's right, Kate. Xbox Cloud Gaming is already available on Windows PCs, mobile phones, and tablets. And now, it's coming to Xbox consoles. The future with cloud gaming sounds bright. No waiting to install, no running out of hard drive space, no waiting to patch, and no buying a new console just to play with your friends. See how the vision of cloud gaming will bring people together without barriers.
Sick.
So when I think
Coming to
about
consoles.
cloud and when I think about gaming, those two things together to me really show you the future where you can pick up something and you could play it anywhere and you could do it quickly.
Cloud gaming is phenomenal.
This is pretty great. I mean, that's pretty awesome.
This actually looks so good.
Games are large and you want to keep the ones that you know you love on your hard drive. Xbox Cloud Gaming is about being able to discover the new ones right away.
I'm not
It's
gonna
super
make that
exciting that
argument,
for our
'cause
Game
I
Pass
have a
Ultimate
bunch of
members,
digital
they will get
games
to
and a bunch
experience
of
Xbox
physicals,
Cloud Gaming
so.
on whatever console they have.
Cloud gaming is really about looking at how people play differently.
Just play games
I
however
know
you- wherever,
me in
however
particular,
you
sometimes I just
wherever.
have 20 minutes.
Play your games.
It should be as easy as finding the game that you look for on your console and just jumping right in.
We're targeting 1080p at 60 frames per second.
What's crazy about this is like the latency. This is the kind of stuff you need with cloud gaming.
Oh, 60 frames? That's actually very smooth.
The process itself to get into cloud gaming feels like you're playing on console, right? You go, you find the game you want, you press play.
It's so easy nowadays. You can pick up any device and pretty much play any Xbox game on Game Pass.
From what I know, it works too. It's been on Android for a while, and people
I can just wait for them to send me
great
an
things
invite.
about
It
it.
makes content just so much more accessible.
I'm excited for on my console, which is a weird place to have it, but why not?
Everything
and
that
then
Xbox
also
is doing right now is just getting rid of the
when
limits
it comes to iPhones
of
eventually,
having to be
probably
on a
not.
specific platform or a specific
PC
console.
as well?
Play on PC and mobile, and now on Gen 8.
Oh, is that already on
Yeah,
PC?
Gen 8 consoles can play Gen 9 content. Isn't that so cool?
With cloud gaming, we have the ability, because you are connecting to consoles that are in our data centers, to allow the Gen 8 customers, the Xbox One customers, to play games that their hardware wouldn't have been able to play without it.
There's so much opportunity when it comes to thinking about how we can make content more readily available and let people play where they want to. Sign me up. I'm ready for cloud gaming right now. Let's do it. When's the release date? When does it release?
Holiday 2021. Okay. Cool. It was on a date. So
August
that's
9th
sick.
saw the release of the free optimized update for Hellblade: Senua's Sacrifice on the Xbox Series S and X. With beautiful and rich visuals, thanks to the addition of ray tracing and improved materials alongside performance updates, this is the perfect opportunity to relive
fuck is
Senua's
that?
journey
That's so
or
sick.
experience it for the first time. And if you haven't
Yeah, it
played
makes
this,
sense.
do yourself a favor, grab a pair of headphones and immerse yourself into this world.
Agreed. Speaking of unique experiences on Game Pass, the Xbox
3D
Plays
audio
team will be
for
taking a
Senua's
look at some
Sacrifice.
ID at Xbox titles
Really
over the
sick.
next few days, including 12 Minutes and The Big Con.
They're also talking with developers from Halo, the Master Chief Collection, Forza Horizon 5, and Destiny 2. So join the live Q&A to get your burning questions answered. You can catch all of those streams on twitch.tv/Xbox.
Speaking of Forza Horizon 5, don't forget our friends at Playground Games will give us an extended look at their monument to motoring in Mexico later on.
That includes never-before-seen areas of the game map, plus cars that have never been in the Forza franchise before.
not right now.
I've loved everything I've seen of Forza Horizon 5 so far, and
Why
I
are we
can't
talking about
wait.
it?
Now, Kate.
I can't wait.
There's more games to check out, right?
Well,
Cult
right, you
of the
are,
Holy
Paris. Let's talk Wasteland 3.
Detonation?
Their newest DLC
Oh,
introduces
Wasteland
us to a new
That
cult.
makes sense.
The Cult of the Holy Detonation.
Children of Adam too? Prime Matter. I forgot they got bought by
Life. Deep
Embracer
within
Group.
Cheyenne Mountain we've
In Exile.
changed. Devolved into the mutations you see before you.
Or no. Microsoft
Set
owns them
on a
now.
righteous path.
But
The holy
did Prime Matter
detonation's
or
life-giving
Embracer
glow
Group publish
should
this
be
before?
shared with everyone.
No, right? In Exile is definitely Xbox.
May the light of the holy detonation purify.
I really want to get Wasteland 3, but like
Join us,
none of those original
Rangers.
trailers did it for me. And I haven't played the other two, so like, I mean, I kind of know what I'm getting into when I'll be playing one of those, but not really, because they did a really bad job showing it.
With new patches, bug fixes, and added features, like a fine wine, Wasteland 3 just gets better with age.
Monologues
To
in the trailer
really
didn't
savor
do
the
it for
game's bouquet, we're talking with inXile game director David Rogers. David, thank you for joining us.
I'm super stoked to be here. Thanks.
So in the trailer, we saw that the DLC is coming out on October 5th, but we know, inXile Wasteland 3, you guys have been working on this for a very long time. So can you kind of talk about that journey?
Yeah, our dev team has been working nonstop full tilt, trying to make Wasteland 3 the best version of itself it could be. Over the past year since it's released, we've added features, we've balanced, we've listened to the community, we've fixed bugs, added stability, and I really think that the version that we have now is the absolute best version
I listen to a lot of
the game,
podcasts
and if you've
stuff.
never played it before, now's an awesome time to jump in.
I would love to hear interviews.
Congratulations on everything that you've been
not
doing
when I
with
wanna see
Wasteland 3.
games.
Now, this DLC is called The Cult of the Holy Detonation. Now, talk about that a little bit. Tell me what's going to go into this DLC. What should we be excited about?
Right, so you've heard of Cheyenne Mountain, right?
Yes.
For those who haven't, Cheyenne Mountain is this top secret military complex buried deep in the heart of Cheyenne Mountain in the middle of Colorado. It's designed to outlast a nuclear winter. And so when you
I'm gonna
hit
go
level
grab a
16,
drink real quick.
an old friend calls you and says, hey, I need your help securing this secret military base and all this.
Pause it there. I need help. Secret military base. Be right back.
Secrets within.
Cool,
And as
got
soon
my
as you
drink.
get there, you find two warring cults battling over supremacy, trying to take control of the Holy Detonation, which is this pre-war science experiment that they worship as a god.
Yeah.
And these cultists are insane. They're mutated. They've gone totally mad. And all they want to do is share the holy radiation with you and your entire Ranger team. How generous!
Yeah,
over there.
that sounds a lot cooler than some of the cults I may have joined in the past. But this is typical Wasteland fashion. We're really going to be able to get in there and mix it up, right?
Right. So you and your Ranger team insert yourself right smack dab in the middle of their holy war, which, what could go wrong?
Yeah.
And this is a Wasteland game, so you decide everything. Choice and consequence is our bread and butter. And so you decide who lives, who dies, who gets screwed over, who takes charge. You're deciding the fate of the cults, the Holy Detonation, Cheyenne Mountain, and ultimately all of Colorado. This is really your game to craft and mold.
That's awesome. So the last expansion
to
was
see
the
the
Battle
game.
of Steel Town, right? You had giant robots and things like that.
Show me
So
the expansion.
what are you going to do to actually top something like that from the last expansion?
Right. So we wanted returning players to find something that they could never find in another version or in previous versions of Wasteland 3. And so we built this as a Wasteland-style dungeon crawl. And in there, you find this awesome mix of mystery, exploration. You're meeting these crazy cultists who've been locked in this pre-war time capsule, and some of the raddest boss battles we have ever been able to build in a Wasteland game.
That's awesome. I want to get back to the crazy cultists, but talk to me about these big boss battles. I want to hear more about that.
Right. So we took the best parts of Wasteland combat and we breathed new life into it with objective-based combat, which are basically super rad boss battles. It's no longer you're huddling in a corner, throwing down turrets, just going on murderous rampages. It's not about killing, it's about getting the job done. And so now, combat doesn't end until the mission is over. We send you on proper combat missions. You're in there breaking into prisons, rescuing POWs. You're disrupting these high-tech cultist rituals. You are splitting your fire team and coordinating like you never have had to before. Everyone on your team has a job, and I really think this is going to take old players who know their Ranger team like the back of their hands, and it's going to make them scratch their head and really have to rethink how they go about combat and making it new, exciting, and challenging in a mentally in a way we haven't been able to really do before with just
kind of like a
straight-up murder
Fallout
combat.
Vault.
Now, Wasteland has a reputation for getting a little silly.
The vibe is so far.
What are some of the weird characters we can expect in some of the story encounters we'll see in the game?
Yeah, with Cult of the Holy Detonation, we really got to cut our devs loose and just let them be creative and fun and silly. Like inXile's modus operandi is if we're brainstorming and something makes us laugh, we just put it in the game. That's just how we do it, and we pick up the pieces afterwards. Because we want to make something that entertains us, and then we know if we're having fun, our fans are going to have fun along with us. And so we got to explore, really letting you get deep into this weird radiation cult, and let you interact with them and talk with them, and tell stories and maybe even join them.
Yeah.
And so for instance, one of the characters you meet, one of the first cultists you meet, is this slathering beast. He's got claws and fangs and spikes jutting out. He's drooling, but he's the nicest guy in Cheyenne Mountain. Like you meet him and he's like, "Hey guys, you should like come in here and like soak up some of these rads. It'll be great."
Yeah.
And he Sherpas you in and lets you meet the whole cult. And another one of my favorites is the Proteus. He's what you get if you took like 20 cultists and you like melted them into a big pile, kind of like I would do this with like a magnifying glass. I would like melt like army guys and like GI Joes into a big pile, and he's wet and sloppy and gross and he's hard to understand and he needs a translator supposedly, but he's like your #1 fan. And getting to build like this totally out there wild extreme character was a ton of fun to write for. It's a ton of fun to like explore like what makes this cult tick, and he's an absolute blast. Hell, even some of the weapons that you find in Cheyenne Mountain, they're devolved cultists. Like there's one guy and he kind of devolved into this like vomiting bagpipe creature, and he has this real like kill me vibe about him. But we get to play with these fun body horror themes that let us jackknife between sort of like dark and serious and like goofy and funny, which is a line that Wasteland really loves to ride. Like a lot of really important stuff is at stake, but it's
5 minutes of gameplay is not gonna hurt.
Oh, I can
while
imagine.
You talk
Now,
over it.
we talked before. You've been working on Wasteland 3 for a while. There's already expansions that are out there. But say I'm a new player. Say I'm watching this right now and I'm like, man, I want to get into Wasteland 3. What would you suggest for new players wanting to get into this?
And like I said at the top, like Wasteland is like the best version of itself right now because of all the work we put into it over the past year. And so you can get the whole thing with the Colorado collection. That's the base game plus Cult of the Holy Detonation and Battle of Steeltown, all for a discount. Or if you have Game Pass, you already have Wasteland 3. Just download it and play it, and then you can get both expansions with the expansion pass.
That is awesome. Now, to kind of recap this a little bit, we've talked about, spewing pus bags and these weird characters and the cults and the boss battles and all these really cool things that are going to be in Wasteland 3. But please remind everyone before we get out of here,
a little steep for
when
this
can
game
you pick up this
now,
DLC?
right?
Right. This Work of Passion, it comes out on October 5th. We're really stoked.
That is awesome. So this is the Cult of the Holy Detonation.
Cult of the Holy
Detonation coming
I guess
October
why?
5th.
Well, I mean, it's on Game
Thank you
Pass,
so
so
much
why who cares?
In the 3 years since its launch, Sea of Thieves has played host to some incredible crossovers, including unique ship sets inspired by games like Battletoads, State of Decay, Halo, and more. Today, we're excited to announce a brand new special event that will award players an all-new ship as a part of the latest wild crossover heading to Sea of Thieves. Better yet, this event begins tomorrow. So get ready to make some mayhem, and let's get our first look at this very special ship.
Not a shadow drop, but tomorrow. No. Get out of here, Borderlands. Go home.
Guten Tag, everyone. Really cool to be a part of this all-digital Gamescom event. And we were thinking, what's the best way to kind of celebrate Gamescom and to be a part of this as Sea of Thieves? And so we're really excited to reveal that we're bringing the Mayhem ship set that you've just seen, a really, really cool ship that's inspired by Borderlands, into Sea of Thieves, and we're giving all of our players a chance to earn it during the Gamescom time period.
There's a
So it's been
claptrap
really
going,
cool to work with the
never play
Borderlands
this game
team
again.
to bring this ship to life, and giving all of our players the chance to earn it as part of this live event
so much.
that
Why?
we've cunningly titled Mayhem. You might notice the link. So you can probably guess the kind of activities that are involved, but if you head to Lorena at any of the outposts in the Sea of Thieves world, she'll be able to fill you in on the details of what you need to go do to earn this ship set. So we hope everybody gets a chance to take part in this awesome time-limited event. So it starts today, and it runs through to September the 7th. So that's the time period you've got to get your hands on the Mayhem ship set. And I think that's it from me. So as always, I will see you on the seas.
Gross. Okay. New game? New game?
It's always been a dangerous
State of
world in
K3.
Tumble Valley.
Okay. State of K3. Hell yeah.
But now, it's hope that brings us back together. It reunites old friends. It builds new bonds. And in the face of a growing threat, hope is the greatest weapon we have.
Is this how it looks like? I mean, it's not bad looking. It's definitely, the textures are better and stuff, but oh no. You see that cinematic they showed? Wait, that's the beginning? Like the original one? Okay, it's State of Decay 2. Okay. That's like, are you serious? There's no way this is what 3 looks like. No, I'm State of Decay 2. That makes a lot more sense. State of Decay 2 Homecoming.
To Trumbull Valley.
Whew. I was like, oh my god, it's...
Well, just like zombies themselves, it seems everything
why would
old
State
and
of
new
Decay
again
3
in
look
State of
like
Decay
that?
2. And we have a guest to walk us through this
The
Undead
exact same
update.
as
Please
2.
join me in welcoming Undead Labs
Because it is
Director of
2.
Communications, Wanda Russell. Hello, Wanda, how are you?
Hello, I'm great. It's great to be here. Talk about the Homecoming update releasing on September 1st. We are very excited to get this into players' hands.
You are indeed. So let's talk about the Homecoming update. Obviously, we are coming back to Trumbull Valley. We were there for Heartland, the update, back in 2019. Talk to me about the differences, and I'll sit right here and listen, because you're adorable.
So Heartland is the
Should've
story
got
mode
some
within
better
the game. It's a
chairs.
very linear, narrative-driven experience. You know, players couldn't move their communities there.
We're, like,
so
leaning in
that's all
pretty
changed
hard.
with the Trumbull Valley map. It is the 5th core open world map. It's fully remastered, and it expands into 2 territories that were completely inaccessible in Heartland. So players can return to Trumbull Valley with their communities, start new communities there, and really start exploring everything that the new map has to offer.
So then, would Homecoming be a
Back
sequel
to
then
talking.
to Heartland?
Yeah, exactly right. So the events in Heartland kind of play out. You see what happens in Trumbull Valley. So we think of it as the 3rd part of our Trumbull saga that began with the original State of Decay game, continued into Heartland, and now we see what has happened since then.
But we
and what
want to make
storylines
sure to
might be
finish
coming
it
to a
before
close.
we get to 3.
So there is a lot for players to discover, a lot of
something
environmental
new
storytelling
in
to
3.
find. And, you know, things have changed.
Give
So
it a
this
complete
isn't the
overhaul.
Trumbull Valley that players might remember. So that's going to be exciting.
Interesting. Well, and anytime you expand something like Trumbull Valley, you just have to have a juggernaut of content, pun intended. Talk to me a little bit about what some of those things are that players can get in on here now in the expanded Trumbull Valley.
Yes, a ton of new content. In fact, we're doing something unique with the Trumbull Valley map. There are items there that you can only find on that map and nowhere else in the game, including 12 new hats and outfits, 10 new very cool weapons. We've got 6 new bases, 2 new achievements for achievement hunters. And on top of that, we are adding the game's 12th bounty
Copyright.
pack. So that will be
Oh, I guess
available
it's hunters.
from the bounty broker across all maps. And I have to say,
No
they are
copyright
some
on
of
that.
the coolest weapons I have ever seen go into the game. I'm so excited for people to find them.
A juggernaut amount of content, and I don't care who
Yes,
sees that
I
second
love
pun
it.
of the day. That works out great. But let's talk about the State of Decay community, because it's absolutely an integral part to this entire franchise. And State of Decay being on Xbox Game Pass, how has that impacted the community? How has that impacted the game? Talk to me about those.
It's been fantastic, and you know, we have an amazing community. We love them so much. In fact, one of the reasons we're doing Trumbull Valley as a map is because it was one of the most requested features from the community, which also makes it very exciting for us to be able to say, we did it, you get it. And we have a major milestone that we're celebrating. State of Decay 2 has 10 million lifetime players.
10 million lifetime hang
Hell
your
yeah,
hat
dude.
on that. I absolutely love that. That is
Really grateful.
Incredible, amazing news. Congratulations to you and the entire team at
Thank
Undead
you.
Labs, man. Fantastic work. Well, speaking of Xbox Game Pass, let's give me the deets one more time when it comes to the update.
So the update releases September 1st. It's a free update for all State of Decay 2 owners, and it's included with Xbox Game Pass. Happy homecoming.
I love it.
That
Thank
was
you,
a
Wonder, very
perfect
much.
amount of
My
time
pleasure.
of everything.
Now we move from Trumbull Valley to the
I
Lost
wish more
Valley of
gameplay
Akria.
over the talking,
This mystical
but
location trades
cut it there.
zombies for ancient
Perfect.
warrior clans, forgotten temples of long dead god
that-
kings, and a
that
healthy
one's so
dose
much
of
better
hack and
than
slash. All this
Flight
awaits.
Simulator or fucking Church of the Holy Detonation. Okay. I'm seeing some Souls mechanics in there. Some dodge rolling. Oh, Point Blank. Who's Point Blank?
In Strayblade, you discover the mystical lost valley of Akria, a world which ranges from overgrown temple ruins to frozen caves and winding canyons. A game world that changes based on your victories and plenty of dues to stab in blade-to-blade combat. If that weren't enough, you even get a fuzzy little pal to help you out. Between the epic fights and this small guy, there's clearly a lot going on here. So let's hear more from Point Blank Games about Strayblade.
Hello everybody, I'm Leonard Kausch, game director at Point Blank Games, and today I will show you Strayblade.
Yes, show me the game.
Strayblade is an action RPG where you play a rogue adventurer who is exploring the ancient valley of Akria with his companion, a witty wolf named Boji. Unveil the history of the Forgotten Valley, master the powers of the 3 Akrian metals to restore balance to this war-torn land.
That is the how, as well as the why.
Combat and exploration are the 2 key elements of our game. Let's dive into the combat first. Our combat system merges strategic anticipation of enemy attacks with split-second blade-to-blade reactions. It is the high noon of skill-based melee weapon combat. To achieve that, we put our hearts into creating fluid, well-readable animations and epic cinematic finishes.
Just need a bonfire.
You can choose from multiple weapon categories that can be combined to fit your playstyle.
We're getting experience points instead.
Now, let's take a look at the exploration. Akria's colorful world ranges from overgrown city ruins to frozen caves and winding canyons. Together with your companion, explore the deepest corners of an ever-changing world, bristling with adventure. Every discovery holds treasure. Find rare materials, recipes, weapons, lore pieces, and beautiful places. Change is part of your journey, where every victory impacts the world around you. When you die, time keeps moving forward. Enemy skills stay dead. New foes invade camps that you weakened. And when Boji revives you, only one thing is certain. The change you brought shapes what now awaits you. And of course, get ready for epic boss fights.
Yeah, it looks so hazy right there.
We hope you enjoyed the first look at Strayblade, which will be out next year.
A haze
and keep an eye on our social media channels for more information.
Hell yeah. That's hype. That'll be cool.
Next up, one of the most unique games finally comes to Xbox.
Yeah.
And we're gonna hear about it for 20 minutes.
As in, my evil twin murdered 4 of my husbands because they secretly are in love with me. Unique.
In case that didn't tip you off, we're talking about Crusader Kings 3, the medieval grand strategy and role-playing game that has you trying to defend your royal line from those that would conquer your kingdom, and evil twins apparently.
Yeah. It's coming to Xbox as an adaptation, not a direct port, meaning that the UI and controls have been refined to bring that grand strategy experience to a controller.
Not to mention bringing the grand strategy experience to my comfy living room couch.
We'll all be ruling from our throne room soon enough. Check out Crusader Kings 3, now coming to Xbox consoles.
Give you a little trailer. No dev interview.
My son.
Perfect.
We must never forget the crimes committed against us.
Maybe I'll speak too soon on that.
Your
It'll probably be a dev
father
interview.
sought his glorious revenge and failed. He never understood that the greatest wars are won with weddings, not warriors. With daggers, not swords.
Now, hopefully this plays good with a controller. But also you can just put a keyboard to your Xbox.
Measure
so.
success across the span of a single life. The real game is played across generations. You see, real strategy requires cunning.
Oh, yeah. Play day one on Game Pass.
Crusader Kings 3 is wild. You really haven't lived until you've made an 8-year-old the King of England.
Well, it's nice to have hobbies.
And
We've
then
all
have it
gotten
marry
into
its
some
mother
weird
and
stuff
kill
this
its family.
past year.
Weird
Yes.
like
Crusader
diving
Kings
into
3
people's
gets
brains and
fucking
exploring
weird.
their mental universes projected into a psychedelic
So
60s
weird.
Wonderland kind of weird?
Psychonauts 2, hell
Exactly
yeah.
that kind of weird. Which means I
came
am
out
so
today,
excited
right?
for Psychonauts to finally get a sequel. It has been so long.
There
Today,
really
right?
is something special about
Or is it
Psychonauts
this
isn't
week?
it?
There really
Thursday?
is indeed. Now, think about this. 2005, when Psychonauts originally came out, was a
What's the
different time for gaming. Most of the biggest games that year, we're talking Resident Evil 4, Battlefield 2, Call
Maybe
of
it's the
Duty
29th, but I
2.
think today.
They were great games, for
I
sure.
guess even if it
But they were
was
all
Thursday,
big,
it wouldn't
beefy
make any
shooter
sense
games.
if that was the 29th.
Meanwhile, Psychonauts had humor, whimsy, and surprisingly heartfelt moments. It was an oasis of color and humanity in an era when games were increasingly turning grimy, dark, and combative.
Not to mention having some deceptively deep character moments.
That's why the original is considered a cult classic.
It has been a long time coming, and it is finally here. Enjoy this long-awaited launch trailer for Psychonauts.
Oh, okay.
Well, this shouldn't take too long.
With psychic powers, he dives into your mind.
My name is
Yes,
Raz.
please give me a
I'm
James
the
Bond
new
song for
intern.
Psychonauts 2.
And
Oh,
today
yeah.
is my first day on the job.
Get ready, Rasputin.
So fucking
Did you
hyped.
forget everything I taught you about levitation?
We still need to play the first one on the channel.
I'm not supposed to check
We'll have to play the first one first, and then the second one, because I know it literally takes place after the end of the first game. I think even the VR game
Just no.
Quit picking on the new
is
kid.
technically before, like, everything's just fucking canon.
I've got eyes on the target.
There's no way to play that VR game and
I've got eyes
non-VR.
on me.
That sucks.
All I see is another unruly peasant.
Now we do that. That's a cool boss right there.
It wouldn't be the first time the Psychonauts underestimated Maligula's power.
Leave it to me.
Psyched. August 25th is tomorrow. Hell yeah, dude. Fuck. Fuck yeah, dude. We're definitely gonna have to play through the first one soon.
Well, it's clear I could not be more excited for Psychonauts 2 because I gotta be honest, me in that original game, we got
the reviews
some
for it
beef
are
that
great.
needs
The
settling.
reviews
If you
came out
know, you
yesterday.
know. The meat circus level, it is
it's a good
infamous, it
game.
is brutal, it is difficult to say
So
the least.
excited.
The final level of the original game that came out, and I cannot believe I'm doing the math on this one. 16 years
The
ago,
lowest score was IGN's
Tim
8.
Schaefer and Lizette T-Tree
I
Montgomery.
think
am
GameSpot,
definitely dating
notorious for
myself,
giving
but
low
you
scores,
all
gave it like a
welcome from Double
9.5
Fine
or
Productions.
9.
Thank you so much for being here. Tim, can you believe it has been 16 years? I almost said 19 years.
Yeah, it feels like only yesterday, but it kind of was for Raz because the story picks up right where the first game left off. And even though it has been a lot of years, it's a game that matters a lot to us. We really love it here at Double Fine, and we know that a lot of fans, it meant a lot to them. And so we really want to be true to the spirit of the first game, which we were able to do because we brought back a lot of the same voice actors, and we also have a lot of people on the team here that worked on the first game, as well as bringing on a bunch of new people like Lisette.
Thank you. It was really important for us to carry the legacy forward, especially the cool style of Wonk that is very prevalent in the first game.
Style of Wonk. Just put it on a shirt. I'm in there for it. Let's roll it back a bit. Of course, this can be a kind of a trippy idea if you're not familiar. Psychonauts, they still jump into people's minds, I'm assuming, like the first game, right? So if a Psychonaut sort of dove into my brain, it would be like a lot of Ted Lasso quotes and French Bulldog memes. Am I correct, Tim?
Yeah, that's what's fun about a Psychonauts game is that all the levels are different, just like every person is different, based on their personality. If you could jump into someone's mind, what would it look like in there? What would be the color of the sky?
I'm gonna
Like,
give
who would
Tim
the
Schafer a
monsters
pass.
be?
I'm talking.
In Psychonauts, you get to do that because Raz has the power of astral projection.
I think
and when he goes in, he
deserved
gets
it.
to fight those monsters and help people deal with their nightmares and wrestle
It's
with their
been
inner demons.
a
And so
long
there's a ton
time
of
coming.
variety.
And it comes out
there's a lot of
tomorrow.
Anything goes. We can go to any location. We can have any art style. And coming up with new levels for the second game was really fun to do.
Like, this is the Xbox
I
game.
loved it from
Even
the
though
first
it's coming
game,
to
certainly.
PS4 as well.
Let's talk
This
a little bit
is
about how
the
that
big
kind
one.
of concept
It comes
expresses
out.
itself in the game world. I
This
mean,
is the next
Psychonauts
one.
2 has got it all over the place, I'm sure.
Yeah, it was really important for us to carry forward the unique brain worlds and unique levels from the first game and the unique style as well. So we were really focused on how we could bring forward that style in Wonk and also bring in new levels and enemies.
Now, of course, it wouldn't be Psychonauts without new mental demons, and I'm sure it's happening in Psychonauts 2. What does this mean? Does it mean basically is that we're finally able to slap COVID anxiety in the face?
Well, I don't know if you get to slap anxiety in your face, but you definitely get to slap some panic attacks, and COVID definitely caused a lot of those. In addition to panic attacks, some of our old enemies have also come back. Our sensors are our favorites, and they're definitely here. And in addition to that, we also have our doubts and some new enemies. There's our lovely sensor. Also, some regrets, some flying regrets. There are a ranged enemy, and they definitely are challenging. Our doubts are our slow, sticky melee enemy. You're also seeing our enabler here. He energizes our whole combat troop. So we have a whole cast that you can battle and fight with.
Including the new bad mood.
Including the bad mood.
Which is
it's an electric storm of feelings that you have to fight.
Now, for those who haven't played the original, available
Hell yeah.
now on Xbox Game Pass, by the way. Wink. Tim, why is Raz so good at rummaging through brains?
Raz is, he has some very special skills. He has two whole sets of skills. One being the acrobatic
because
skills. He
everybody
learned
wants
growing
it
up in
now.
the circus. He can balance on tightropes, jump on
$50,
trampolines, swing on
$60,
trapezes, and
I
then
think it was
helps him
like
navigate
$10
and get
the
around
last time
to
I
all
looked at
kinds
it.
of interesting places.
But it's
But he
probably a
also has
lot
his other
more
side
money
to his personality, which is that he's a powerful psychic. So he can levitate objects. He can use telekinesis and pyrokinesis. He has these powers, which people might recognize from the first game, as well as 3 new powers for the second game. He has the ability to mentally connect thoughts together, and he can connect 2 thoughts and actually connect 2 thoughts together to solve puzzles and to navigate in this game. He has the power of time bubble, which is just change and slow down how things are moving by changing people's perception of time. And he also has the power of projection, which allows him to pull an archetype, a personality, out of his unconscious mind and bring it into the world that he's in, like a companion in battle or in puzzle solving.
But let's talk about the story for a second, because as the original Psychonauts, we saw Raz training to be part of an organization, and now perhaps he's part of a whole organization at this point. And are there other brain agents, other Psychonauts out there that maybe grew up in a completely different circus?
Yeah, we have a lot of new characters in this game.
We do. We have a lot of new characters in this game. As soon as Raz arrives on the headquarters, he immediately gets introduced to the interns. And the interns quickly tell him and show him how he fits into the organization.
The bottom.
They're right down
Right
at
at
the bottom.
Yeah, so earn his way back to the top again. He's no longer the coolest kid in summer camp. And much to his chagrin, his entire family, his entire embarrassing circus clothes wearing family comes to visit him in front of all his new friends. And so the interns find out that he's the awkward middle child of a circus family. Each one of them has their own quirks and foibles, and some of them are even psychic. And so a lot of their story gets told in this game, including their backstory and how it relates to the foundation of the Psychonauts themselves.
That's cool.
Well, I like that. And of course, as you might know already, I'm sold. But you, of course, already knew that. When can myself and the rest of the world exact some beefy meaty revenge?
You can get back to the beef and play Psychonauts 2 on August 25th on Xbox Game Pass and PC.
There it is. Lizette,
Tomorrow.
Tim from Double Fine, thank you so
sick.
much. And you know what? Extend a huge congratulations to everyone at Double Fine on the launch of Psychonauts 2.
Thank you so much. We're very excited.
Thank you.
And you can catch more of Tim Schafer and ask him those burning questions about the newest game in the fan favorite franchise
Got maybe
in our
one or
Xbox
two
Play
more
stream
games, I
tomorrow.
guess.
But first, we're going from cleaning out mental cobwebs to cleaning up alien planets
Gunk.
in this supremely satisfying 4K 60 trailer for The Gunk.
Hell yeah. Okay. We haven't seen this since the announcement. Was that last year?
I don't like this weather.
I think that was E3 last year.
Pretty sure the ship's insurance won't cover alien storm damage. You have to be careful out there.
The Gunk's eating everything here. This planet is literally a paradise when the Gunk's gone.
This music's really cool.
Bex. Oh, please, Bex.
Okay. Is that it? Whoa. Okay. I was expecting a lot more than that, but okay. I mean, it's like next year, right? At least.
We have talked about so many incredible games today, and it's hard to pick a favorite, but let me just say, it is so cool that State of Decay 2 is expanding Trumbull Valley. Come on. And hey, you know what? Great job on that Flight Sim interview.
Oh, thank you. I mean, talking to Jorg is always a blast, and Flight Sim is such a special game to me because, I mean, it's literally letting me travel the world.
I want my name to be Jorg.
I was
That
staring
sounds like
daggers of
such a badass
jealousy
name.
watching you talk to Tim and
Jorg.
Lizette over at Double Fine.
Well, I will say this, I understand, but you got to play Psychonauts 2 already, so I don't even want to hear it.
That's true, but it's not the same as talking to the creators. Just trust me when I tell you, be excited for Psychonauts 2.
I will say this as well, I am excited to see even more of Psychonauts 2 on our Xbox Plays streams.
Yes, don't forget,
Don't forget the
Xbox Plays
schedule.
will recap all the week's news throughout the week at twitch.tv/Xbox. So make sure to check that out. Before Kate and I let Playground Games take the wheel, let me just say that
Maybe
it's
at
been our
Forza.
distinct pleasure to
That's-
chat
that's-
games and nerd out with everyone today.
Oh, it's hands down the best part of the job, for sure.
But we're far from done here.
Too true. Now, in June, Playground Games announced that Forza Horizon 5, the highly anticipated follow-up to 2018's breakout hit open-world driving game Forza Horizon 4, arrives on November 9th on Xbox consoles, Xbox Game Pass for console, PC, and cloud, and of course, Steam.
And if you're watching our Xbox YouTube channel, switch over to our Xbox Twitch channel to see all this new exclusive content.
And that is
And we'll talk about Forza 5 later.
twitch.tv/Xbox for the full vroom vroom experience. And if you're already watching on Twitch or one of the Forza channels, stay right where you are.
Without further ado, let's dive in, starting with the new custom Forza Horizon 5 controller, which is available for pre-order today, so players can have it in hand by
Will Forza
November
be the
9th,
last
when the
thing?
standard edition of the game launches.
I'm really. How much? We've got 20 minutes. It's a pretty controller. Okay. I'm always into some transparent. We haven't had a transparent Xbox controller in so long, right? When was the last one? Like official one? Oh, they get the grips. No. 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 The grips killed it for me. Oh, this analog sticks though. But why the grip?
Charlie here, and I'm at Playground Games with Forza Horizon creative director Mike Brown and Forza Horizon art director Don Arcetta. Hello, everybody.
Hi, everyone. Hi, Charlie.
Hey, Charlie. Hello.
How cool is this?
That is stunning. Look at that. Well, we obviously just saw a really
Is
cool
this
video
what our
about it, and
whole
I'll be the
20
first to
minutes
say
is
there is an
gonna be?
amazing influence of Mexican
really-
car culture and music literally
Forza
displayed
looks
right
pretty,
across the front.
but like this has been so boring. Yeah, Forza's everything. Forza. Thanks for watching. Okay.
Isn't that right?
Absolutely. It just feels like it's a part of the Horizon Festival, like it's just dropped out of the game into your lap.
I'm just gonna end it here. This is all talking, barely any gameplay. Like, what are we doing, Xbox? What are we doing? What are we doing? You've done better. You can do better. I mean, Paris and I forgot her name. I feel bad for forgetting her name. They're both great hosts, but like these interviews got to be cut, and you know that. The live reaction, live streams for Xbox ID. It's like, why nobody wants to watch those? Like this, we can cut this. We can cut this, and this could have just been shown at the last conference. Just add another 30 minutes on it. We saw Forza there. You could have just announced the controller there. We just didn't. You could not talked about it again until it's time. Because we still got 3 months, 4 months. It's November. 2 months, 3 months until the game comes out. So we got to say it again, right? You think it would have made more sense? But I mean, seeing the Gunk and everything else, it's not like any of the. I don't have anything to complain about the games. It's just the presentations itself. It's just we've done better. Why are we doing this? You know, I don't really have much to say. All these games are sick. Psychonauts 2, I'm really excited for. Other than that, yeah, this was a boring ass Gamescom conference that could have been better. Opening Night Live will probably be better. Definitely be better. It's gonna be longer, but it's definitely gonna be better. Just because Jeff Keighley makes sure, and the live show or the pre-show is hosted by Kyle Bossman, one of an ex-Easy Ally, an Easy Ally forever. Yeah, so we'll have that tomorrow. That's exciting. I'm excited for that. That's the big one. So yeah, with that being said, guys, it's fun. It's been real. Peace out, Cubs. Bye.